2 weeks ago, we broke on this channel, Popcorn Palace, that finally Meghan Markle's ex-BFF Jessica Mulroney had broken her silence to none other than, yes, your very own Andy Signore. Fast forward 2 weeks later, mainstream media is finally catching up on our story. But it does make me personally wonder, did Jessica use Andy? Hey up everyone, it's me, Steph the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, filling in for Andy whilst he's in hospital at the moment. When I get any further updates I'm able to share with you guys, I certainly will do. Probably stay tuned on Popcorn Planet for those updates. In the meantime though, as Andy has told me, yep, the show must go on. And 2 weeks ago, we released this exclusive. I even interrupted my holiday whilst I was in Disney to do this video with Andy because Meghan Markle's ex-BFF Jessica Mulroney had finally broken her silence to none other than, yes, our very own Andy Signore, and we were able to divulge some of that conversation in this particular video. So if you haven't watched it, do jump on this straight away. However, 2 weeks later, mainstream media have finally caught up with the story, but it does make me wonder personally, myself, did Jessica use Andy? So let's go forward with this particular story here that's been reported by The Sun, where Meghan Markle is having, quote, sleepless nights over ex-best friend Jessica Mulroney's revenge. So Megsy's reportedly been on edge due to the real prospect that Jessica Mulroney may come forward to speak out about her. And to be fair, it started 2 weeks ago on this channel, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I can understand why Megsy may be on edge at this point. Now, Jessica recently took to social media sharing a cryptic post about her strong, quote, detachment game 3 years after she fell out with Megsy. Now, she reposted a quote sharing her feelings towards loyalty and friendships that read, quote, "As loving as I am, my detachment game is strong too." Now, she's a 43-year-old marketing consultant, and she shared this post years after her friendship with Megsy came to an end. Now, this all ended back in 2020 during the height of the Black Lives Matter protests, when lifestyle blogger Sasha Excerpt called Jessica out for her, quote, problematic behaviour and again, quote, white privilege. Now, following all of this, Jessica actually issued 3 public apologies for her actions, and we explain a little bit more about that situation in this video here. So again, if you haven't watched it, do check it out. Now, she still faced consequences even after the 3 public apologies and was dropped by numerous television networks. In other words, Jessica at that point was cancelled with a capital C, right? Now, what happened with Megsy, right? Megsy, the BFF at the time. Well, publicly, Megsy remained silent and publicly did not support her friend at all. Since then, reportedly, at least, you know, on the public face of things, they both have remained distant, seem to have cut ties, and they've not been seen together since, albeit publicly, right? Now, sources have told Closer, which is a publication, that the possibility of Jessica now, quote, spilling the beans on Megsy and Hazza is a, quote, big panic for our Megsy, who apparently has been very fortunate to not have to contend with any tell-alls so far. The source also says, quote, Jessica is not yet openly indicating she's ready to sit down and dish the dirt on Megsy, or Meghan, but the possibility is always there, and it's a big panic for Meghan, the source said. Now, the source also mentioned that she's relieved she hasn't had to deal with this yet, but when Instagram posts like this surface, it makes her shudder. The feeling is that she and Harry have both been very fortunate until now. They haven't had a tell-all to contend with, at least not from within their close circle of friends and former friends. Yeah, they haven't had to suffer any tell-alls, but they've been doing all the tell-alls, right? I mean, Spare is the one that comes to mind, right? And actually, it shows that there's a pattern when it comes to Megsy, because when there was that big, massive public fallout like 3 years ago with Jessica during the Black Lives Matter movement and the protests there, publicly, Megsy was nowhere to be seen to support her BFF, right? And then fast forward to earlier on this year, when Prince Harry does his own tell-all in Spare, he gets a lot of backlash and is absolutely killed publicly, right? Megsy, publicly, nowhere to be seen, right? No public support for her man, no nothing. So, to me, it does indicate a pattern there, right? Now, the source also continues to say, quote, but there's a real prospect of other people with an axe to grind from her and Harry's past coming forward to get revenge and humiliate them. This is the kind of thing that gives Meghan sleepless nights. If she were to suddenly decide to change her stance and speak out, it would be crushing for Meghan, not to mention humiliating. Finally saying, Jessica knows Meghan inside and out. They were each other's biggest confidants throughout the decade that they were BFFs. The greatest fear for Harry and Meghan right now is for someone from her inner circle spilling the beans and embarrassing her. She's hoping and praying it won't happen, but only time will tell if she gets away with it. And yes, it's not just Jessica, right, that Megsy needs to be potentially scared of doing a tell-all here. But as I reported on my own channel, Steph the Alternate, her ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, is reportedly at least considering penning a tell-all explosive book. Now, she was married to Trevor Engelson between 2011 and 2013, way before Prince Hazard entered the scene, right? Divorcing on the grounds of, quote, irreconcilable differences when I could get my teeth back in. And so far, he has kept quiet about his ex-wife, refusing to comment on her marriage to Prince Harry or their split from the royal family. But royal author Neil Sean, author of The A to Z of Harry and Meghan, claims that Trevor has had numerous offers to reveal all on what Meghan is really like behind closed doors. Meghan is petrified, similar to being scared with Jessica doing a tell-all, because Trevor has first-hand experience of what it was like to be married the first time around, and that if he does this, then with Megsy it could prove to be fatal to her in her hopes of relaunching her career. Neil says, quote, many agents have offered him big deals and big money when Meghan was at the height of her fame. I would think that he will take stock and look at all options. Meghan is bound to be petrified. He would truly have a remarkable story because, after all, he would have first-hand experience of what it was like to be married the first time around to the actress. And this is the thing, not only would he have first-time experience, being with Meghan on a romantic level, right? But Jessica Mulroney will also have first-hand experience of being the BFF, right, to Meghan Markle. So, again, I can understand why Megsy may be having sleepless nights over the prospect that Jessica Mulroney may actually be poised to doing a tell-all, right? And so then, like I said right at the beginning, it got me thinking, well, this article came out 2 weeks after our exclusive here over on Popcorn Palace, where Jessica Mulroney actually spoke to Andy. Now, I know, of course, that he'd spoken to her about things. The specific details I have no idea about. I only know essentially what we discussed in this video here. However, I do hope that we actually do get more from Jessica and essentially get this clarified and see exactly what's going on. Is this article true? Is it false? Is it somewhere in the middle? Because, like I say, I hope we get more from her so we can clarify this even further, and that she didn't just use him 2 weeks ago when we did this video here, where we actually did clear up a lot of things when it came to Jessica Mulroney and what happened 3 years ago. So, yeah, let's put it this way. I saw this article and it left a nasty taste in my mouth. It really, really did. And so, like I said, I hope we get more from her and that she didn't just use Andy 2 weeks ago, so we can clarify the article from the Mirror. In the meantime, though, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and of course you're going to want more, then make sure you subscribe to Popcorn Palace, like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories and whatevers. And until the next time, you guys, laters!